Hello children, I'm Frank Galligan and you're very welcome to Arts Care's Children's Summer Festival. So what season do we have before summer? Spring, isn't it? And wasn't spring absolutely beautiful? I think we got our summer in the spring, just to confuse matters. But that being said, my little exercise for you today is at the end of this video, I want you to all try and write a summer poem using all of your wonderful senses. I want you to see it, taste it, hear it, touch it, etc. Now I mentioned spring there, and let's start off with a spring poem using all of the senses and written by children like yourselves. And it's just to give you a wee bit of inspiration as we proceed for the next 15 minutes or so. I can hear the wee lambs bleat and smell the daffodils at my feet. Buds are bursting on the trees and insects chew along the leaves. Chicks are hatching from their eggs, unstable on their stick-like legs. Hedgehogs waken from their sleep, underneath the ground so deep. Winter's over, summer's near, now at last the sky is clear. Wonderful examples there of the use of all the senses in a poem full of rhythm and full of rhyme. On the mention of rhyme, you don't have to use it. Some are good at it, some may struggle with it. As long as you get the rhythm, get the feel. If you use all your senses, you'll have no problem doing that. In the spring poem there, for example, you can hear the wee lambs bleating. It's a lovely sight in spring, isn't it? It's a time of birth and a time of growth. And that image of insects chew along the leaves, you can hear that. You can smell the daffodils at your feet. It's wonderful to be in the proximity of flowers, isn't it? It's one of our most nostalgic senses. The sense of smell, sense of memory. You can smell your granny's perfume. It brings back memories, for example. Winter's over, summer's near, now at last the sky is clear. And later we'll be thinking of the summer and clear skies. When you're writing this, you can do it on your own. You can do it with brothers and sisters. You can do it with friends. There are 4 seasons. You could have 3 other friends. Socially distanced here and there. And for example, in the winter poem, the very word winter, of course, makes you shiver a wee bit, doesn't it? The frost is glistening on the grass and making patterns on the glass. Feet are crunching in the snow as the stars above all glow. Shorter days are here again, and we go sleighing down the lane. Then we skate upon the pond until the frozen ice is gone. I can smell the Christmas pine and watch the angel lights all shine. So there's a lovely mix of darkness and light in winter, of course. And thank God for Christmas, we often say. The smell of Christmas pine and a different type of light or lights. The frost is glistening on the grass. You open the door in the morning before you go to school and you look out. The grass is shining back at you. The frost has come on your window and you're tracing the patterns with your fingers. Beautiful sensation. I'm giving you all these examples from spring and winter because there will be equivalent examples in summer when you write it. The other season, of course, is autumn, or as they call it in America, the fall. Lovely name for it, isn't it? And very appropriate. The leaves are falling off the trees, fluttering in the autumn breeze. Down they fall onto the ground, where they make a crackling sound. The red squirrels are hibernating, and little swallows are migrating. The badger slumbers in his set, while up above the woodland's wet. The farmer mends his broken fences, and life is drained up in the branches. That time of the year, when green turns to different colour or colours, certain animals go for a long sleep, don't they, to emerge again in spring. The badger slumbers in his set. That word is S-E-T-T. That's a badger's home. A set. The farmer mends his broken fences. The autumn is a very important time for farmers, of course. The fall and all that entails. So those are just some simple examples of seeing and hearing and tasting and feeling, etc., from the three other seasons. So when you go to work on summer, we'll talk about it a wee bit more in a minute, I want you to bear all those senses in mind. Alternatively, what you can do, let's say you're doing this on your own, rather than, say, some brothers, sisters, friends, or whatever. And of course, I'm sure you've all been using Zoom and all other matters, or types, I should say, of technology that are far beyond me, let me tell you. You can do it like that, can't you? Maybe you could get your friends that you're working with to concentrate on something like take a line each from a season and take a sense each. You could have 4 if you're working, different corners, socially distanced corners, couldn't you? Summer feels like sand through my toes. Winter feels like snow on my nose. Autumn feels like everything falls. Spring feels like a young lamb's call. Summer sounds like a loud beehive. Winter sounds like the snow's alive. Autumn sounds like a crunch of leaves. Spring sounds like the sprouting seeds. Summer tastes like raspberry gloss. Winter tastes like cranberry sauce. Autumn tastes like apple and pears. Spring tastes like caramel squares. Yummy. Summer smells like honeybees. Winter smells like antifreeze. Autumn smells like bonfire smoke. Spring smells like varnished oak. Summer looks like barbecue sauce. Winter looks like Santa Claus. Autumn looks like dying leaves. Spring looks like newborn trees. So what you'll do when you begin writing your summer poem, and we trust that when you complete them, we'll organise to either hear them or see them in due course. But I want you to imagine the summertime. Imagination is almost like the 6th sense. So if you're not on holidays, if you're not on a staycation, if you're not on the beach, close your eyes and imagine your feet crunching through the sand. Imagine the sound of waves hitting against the rocks. Imagine the taste of an ice cream. As I often do still. When I was a wee lad, I used to work my summer holidays in a shop that sold ice cream and many other things besides. And lo and behold, a long time ago, even though we used to love our wafers, our ice cream wafers, he got an ice cream cone machine in. The first 99, we never forget it. And my job was to make the 99s, sell them and get my few pence as it was at the time. However, the queues started to form, you see, and the boss noticed that it was all my friends that were coming in to buy cones because Frank Galligan was, as we say, burning the ice cream a wee bit too high for his liking. So it didn't last terribly long on the ice cream counter. I was banished to the fishing tackle counter. So there you are, imagine, from lovely, lovely raspberry ripple ice cream and flakes to hooks and worms. Anyway, I got over it. But that memory's still there for the summer. And nowadays, of course, barbecues are the big deal, aren't they? So you can imagine savouring the taste of the smell of barbecues. And what about the sounds? What do you hear? The joy. You know what it's like with your friends, you're down on the beach and you're screaming and roaring and in and out. You might have had your wee dog yelping and running through the water. Yeah? And mum and dad are having a well-earned rest. They're listening to all these sounds. So imagine those sounds as well. First couple of lines, what you can see in the summer, what you can hear in the summer, what you can smell. I grew up with my feet literally in the sea, so I have the smell of sea salt permanently in my nostrils. You never lose it. The further you go inland, the stronger the smell gets. That's what the imagination does. The taste that I mentioned, like ice cream and barbecue. The touch. What does summer feel like? Sometimes it's just an all-enveloping feeling, isn't it? You just feel happy because the sun's shining and you're on holidays and all of that. So what length? Does it have to rhyme, etc., etc.? Well, as I mentioned earlier, rhyme's not crucial. Think about the rhythm, more importantly. Maybe you can boogie a wee bit when you're constructing your poem. Summer feels like sand through my toes. I love that line, and I'm sure you can come up with an equally good line. These are ideas, as I say, shared, written by children over a period of weeks in the school some years ago, where we got them to close their eyes and imagine, because a lot of the summer poems were actually written in, I think, November or something. Yeah, it was autumn or winter, but that's the joy of the imagination. So try the summer one for me for now, okay? And let's have a great summer festival. And we'll be back with you shortly. Bye for now.